Good morning. I'm Edie Lambert with KCRA 3. This is always a difficult day. How do we as a state thank families for an enormous sacrifice that was made for our safety? Today we are reflecting on that in two ways: honoring the lives lost and also the work of all Caltrans workers. Events like this remind us that when we drive to work, to school, to the market, to the hospital, our way was paved by thousands of hands. And to do that work, thousands of feet stood solidly in the line of danger. The grief is still very new for 3 families who lost loved ones this year. I'm sure still feeling very much like a shock. The families of Daniel Bresky, Jackie Aldridge, and Sean Merriman, and you'll hear more about them in a moment. There are other families here today who will tell you the grief changes, but it never subsides. Of course, then neither does the pride. I'd like to personally thank the families of Chester Hawkins, Thomas Ortega, Carl Taylor, David Gillen, Perry Stilts. We know that every day without your loved ones, the sacrifice continues.
Good morning. First, I'd like to offer my sincere condolences to the families who have suffered the loss of a loved one in the line of duty. At Federal Highway Administration, we consider these highway workers to be a part of our extended family, and we also mourn their loss. Federal Highway Administration, in conjunction with our partners, is committed to improving safety for everyone within work zones, especially the workers who put their lives on the line every day. Thank you.
We are all united here today to pay our respect to the honor and memory of 166 Caltrans employees who since 1924 have died while on duty to make our roadways safer. I want you to know that the Office of Traffic Safety is committed to worker safety for all Caltrans employees. I also want you to know that under BTH Secretary McPeak's leadership, the Office of Traffic Safety has allocated more funding to Slow for the Cone Zone campaign than any campaign that we have ever funded in our 40-year existence. It is our desire and the commitment of all the partners that you see here today that we see a year where not one Caltrans road worker is killed or CHP officer is killed on our roadways. Thank you.
Let me just say that we know for a fact how dangerous it is on the roadways in California. We, along with our Caltrans partners, are out there every day, making sure the roads are open, making sure the roads are maintained, constructing new roads in the case of Caltrans, and we're side by side. We've had our share of losses over the years, and Will, to you and Caltrans, our sincerest condolences for this year's loss. And to the families of the 3 Caltrans employees that were lost this year, our heartfelt condolences to you as well. But you know, let's put a face on this. I remember several personal experiences where I was on the road as a young officer and as a sergeant, and on those particular occasions, the people that were right next to me in the danger zone were Caltrans employees. They were right next to me. And their can-do spirit then is alive as it is today, because they truly believe in what they do, and they do a good job. And yet they put themselves in harm's way alongside us at the same time. It is truly an extended family for us, the Highway Patrol and Caltrans. We've had a long tradition together, and we'll have a long future together. And at this particular juncture, on this day, we mourn together the sacrifices of those in Caltrans who have gone before us. So again, Will, to you and the whole Caltrans family, our sincerest condolences. And let's hope next year we have 0 in the column for both of us. Thank you.
I wanted to welcome everybody today. It is a very solemn day, and we gather this morning to pay tribute to Caltrans workers who have lost their lives while serving the people of California. And by extension, we also honor all roadway workers, all public safety employees who labor along the side of our highways and byways in this state and who put their lives on the line every day. One of the major purposes of this ceremony is so that we can give the kind of honor that is appropriate to our fallen maintenance workers. You will know that we now fly the flags in this state at half-staff when a highway maintenance worker goes down. You will know that we honor the dead by making sure that we attend those memorial services for each individual who is lost. And you will know that we celebrate and honor the memory of our fallen workers each year by this service, which is becoming a very, very significant action on the part of the department and all of our supporters. Joining us at this ceremony today are some very special guests. You've already heard them referenced. They are the family of Dan Bresky, the family of Jackie Aldridge, and the family of Sean Merriman. These are the loved ones who have been lost this year. These are the members of our team that we honor today. But the special guests that I want to recognize today are all of the maintenance workers in our audience. I was so impressed in walking around to see some of you. The districts are all represented here from all across the state. We know that the job of our highway workers is risky and dangerous. You get up each day knowing that you face very dangerous weather and working conditions, including an environment where traffic is speeding by only inches away from where you're working. This is the danger that our maintenance workers willingly face on a regular basis to help ensure the safety and well-being of the traveling public. People look up to the folks in Orange. I can tell you stories, customer service stories that I get across the state. From the image, the positive image that you help us build about the Department of Transportation, because you are there. You are our heroes, and I want to thank all of the highway workers here today for all that you do and the sacrifices that you make. But our thoughts today turn to the 166 Caltrans employees who have died since 1924, and this does include Jackie Ray Aldridge, Daniel Bresky, and Sean Merriman, who have actually passed in the last 10 months. Please note the symbolic caution sign in front of us. The orange safety cone represents Caltrans employees who have died on the job in the last 82 years. Later in the ceremony, we unfortunately will add 3 more cones to recognize Mr. Aldridge, Mr. Bresky, and Mr. Merriman. We gather today to keep their memory alive. But a more important way to honor their memory is by slowing down when we drive through a work zone. And this message goes out to the public across the state. So the task before us is to keep the slow for the cone zone message in front of every driver on our highways so that safety becomes a way of life and is practiced every day, consistently and consciously. And next year, let us pledge to work together so that we add no more cones to this square of honor. Thank you. Now it is my honor to introduce Governor Schwarzenegger's representative, Secretary Sonny Wright McPeak.
Thank you, Director Kempton. Thank you for those very kind remarks. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Governor Schwarzenegger and First Lady Maria Shriver, we want to thank you for being here today to commemorate those who have made the ultimate sacrifice to build and maintain and operate California's transportation system. Also, on behalf of the Governor and the First Lady, I too want to extend our heartfelt condolences to the families of our workers, the Merriman, Aldridge, and Bresky families, who have lost sons and husbands and fathers this past year. And now we count the 166 orange cones that you see here in the square that are also in the formation of a caution sign to remind us to slow. Today we remember the purpose of all their lives and the daily work they did and the meaning they brought to all of us. The extended family within the Business Transportation and Housing Agency also recalls their memory. These deaths that we are remembering today were not in vain. Because of their sacrifices, we can point to California's transportation network that gives purpose to all of our lives. And we further acknowledge the fallen through the presence of our honor guard, once again, who show such respect to our workers, and the oak tree that is planted here in the Capitol's East Steps that is a living tribute to all those who have died. I yearn for the day when we will be able to gather in the square and that we will continue to honor the work of Caltrans employees, that we'll continue to honor the memory of the workers who have died, and we'll continue to remember the sacrifice of their families, but that we will add no cones, that we'll add no names to the officers of the Highway Patrol, that we will again celebrate their work, but not have to add a name to the memory in that year of those who have died. As we go forward today, we do so to meet the challenges of our daily work. We do not shy away from that work that is hard, because those who have gone before us show that, in fact, life itself, and indeed work that has purpose, takes courage. As you leave here today and as you journey down the path of life, it is my wish that may the road rise to meet you, may the wind always be at your back, may the sun shine upon your face, may the rains fall softly upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hand. Thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. 'Twas great.